good cause, and I know we are trying to wrap up and stay on topic with good cause. So, does anyone else have good cause specific questions before we take time to this? Sure. Just come
on. Hi. So I was wondering what good cause has to say for rent-regulated apartments.
The question was what good cause has to say about rent-regulated tenants.
Sure. So the bill is designed to apply to tenants who live in unregulated housing because they currently lack the protections that regulated tenants have. We also wouldn't want to there's different ways that we can change the rent laws that govern rent stabilized and rent regulated, rent controlled, et cetera, housing. To make sure that that those tenants are not priced out either, but that isn't what good cause does, and the reason for that is because we don't really want to mess with the protections that rent regulated tenants already have, right? We want them to continue to have the strong protections that they have.
Yeah.
My question is more procedural. What needs to happen? What happens now in Albany, and when do we expect this to come to a vote?
For the mic, what happens now in Albany with this bill?
So there's some pretty exciting stuff that's happening right now with the proposal that the governor has made around. She has a proposal in our state budget, which will be voted on by April 1st. That will create, she has a plan to create a great deal of housing across the state to try to spread out where new housing is, because there are many areas, including suburban areas and parts of the state where there isn't really multiple family housing to build there. And so one of the things that has been proposed is that if we're going to be building a vast number of new units, we need tenant protections. And because of the pressure of what so many of you have done, including Make the Road, UNO, St. Nick's, communities, well, not communities resist, they're lawyers, but so many of our local, Losuris, so many of our local organizations and organizations across the state have done to tell the stories of their experience as tenants. There is a very strong chance that this bill may be passed in the budget, which would mean that starting in April, this would become, I don't know when it would take effect, but it would take effect immediately to protect us. So clearly, this is really important, because if we can pass it in the budget, it will be much smoother than having to fight to bring it up in the last 2 months of our legislative period. So what we really need you all to do is to be calling the governor's office and saying that you want this in the budget. And also, if your state representative is not myself or Julia, you should call them. Obviously, we support it. You should call them and tell them that this is really important to you. And even more important than making a phone call, if you have the time, there is a major event happening in Albany on March 14th, and there will be buses going from New York City full of tenants, and you will be meeting tenants from across the state at our state capitol in Albany, and you will come out in full force and let every legislator know just how strong tenant power is, and you will really help persuade and convince that this is what we need in our budget. So there's a lot of opportunity in the next few weeks for you to make a stand for tenants' rights, and this is really a historic opportunity. Julia has been fighting for this since she came into office. I've been fighting for this since I came into office. And we know that before we were elected, this has been a struggle of unregulated tenants since the beginning of tenants' rights, since like the 1800s. So please make your voice heard. This is really essential. And if you're interested in finding out more about the buses, you can check it out right there. Perfect. So yes, this is a critical moment. We need it in the budget, and you guys can make it happen, or almost make it happen. Yes, okay.
Thank you so much, Emily. I just wanted to add that, yes, the state budget is always an opportunity for us to pass great policy like good cause eviction. The budget it's a series of bills, right? It's policy just like all of the other legislation that we pass in Albany. It's just a lot bigger. I also wanted to add, I know that there is information available about a lobby day coming up on March 14th. It is so important for legislators like Emily and I, although Emily and I clearly fully support good cause eviction, it is so important for our colleagues to hear from everyday New Yorkers, to hear from you all, and especially to hear from their constituents about why it's so important to pass good cause. Let them know that this would affect you, that this would affect someone you know. I guarantee, I can tell you with certainty that good cause would have positive benefits for at least one person that each and every one of us knows. Each and every one of us knows at least one person who would positively benefit from this. So it really is so important. And it's important to actually go to Albany, and if you cannot go to Albany, of course it can be difficult to go to Albany, although we try to make it easier, so get more information about March 14th. You can call the offices of state legislators, you can email them, and there's all kinds of things that you can do to demonstrate your support.
And question, so do you know do you know where do we meet at? Because I just registered for Albany just in case if I'm not working.
Yep, so once you do register, it should give you more information about where you'll be meeting and all of those logistics when all of that.
Okay.